This is another episode of the Play on Ultra podcast, episode 178.
Noise.
Yeah.
Noise.
1 + 7 = 8. Nah.
I've been watching Harley.
Yes?
Actually, I finished Harley. I finished Harley.
You did.
Clayface is definitely my favorite character.
He's so funny.
And my second favorite is King Shark. I love King Shark.
Yes.
It's Ron Funches, right? I like him.
Yeah.
He's a good comedian. I like him.
I like how
I just
so
like
nice,
that
but
King
he'll
Shark
still
is just
divide
Ron
a garden in
Funches.
half.
I do like that King Shark is just basically Ron Funches as a land shark or something. Let's just Clayface is just great because of the way he talks. Lady Gaga. I love that
I
line.
know. I remember Clayface. I just found it so funny because, you know, anytime I see Clayface in any of the things I grew up in, it was always like mindless monster. And so when he was acting like that, I was like, that's kind of weird. And then I was told that I guess his original backstory is he was an actor. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's amazing.
But he's always been a B-tier rogue, part of the
B
B-tier rogue gallery.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I think it was good. It was definitely very jarring at first because the characters are all not at all how they're supposed to be. Like, what the fuck, Bruce Wayne and one thing, like, not one thing picks in a blanket.
Fun fact, voice actor for Bruce Wayne is the same voice actor who did Batman and Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if you were a fan of Brave and the Bold,
I don't feel like it's too radically out of character. Like, I feel most of the things in Harlequin feel like they could have taken place in the DC universe. It's not like some parallel comedy universe. Like, they feel pretty more or less true to form. Definitely silly bend to
definitely
them,
sillier. I mean, it, like, you know, Gordon is definitely almost it's probably how he probably would be in real life, right? Just probably not doing so well. And I mean, with Batman, they're very careful to not make him, like, bad or anything. He's just a little less competent. Just a smidgen.
Although, I guess my biggest issue with it is it felt like two men trying to write what feminism is about. Does that make sense?
I guess
I
so.
understand what
I guess
you're saying. I don't know that I noticed that.
Yeah,
it just
I
felt
don't know.
that way.
I guess I could see what you're saying. I guess for me it felt, I don't know. I feel like I'd have to rewatch it, but it didn't. I will say that, like, I can usually tell when it's very much written by a woman or directed by a woman, and I wouldn't say this necessarily felt like that, but it definitely showed female influence, even if it wasn't at the highest end. So that I can understand. At the same time, I think it's just I kind of, in a way, appreciate that, only because, yes, that's a problem. Obviously, I'm all for needing women in the forefront of some of these things. At the same time, because of that, they are able to make some... That episode that started with the two random fanboys or whatever. So I hysterical, first of all. But, like, second off, I feel like in a way those guys were able to almost write from very personal experience of seeing that, because they probably know somebody like that's in their circle. So in a way I could also see
they
that,
could have been those people and they just
exactly. They could have been reformed of those people, right? You know. So, like, I totally get what you're saying. I guess for me,
it's not as bad as, like, other men trying to write women kind of stuff. Definitely.
Lordy, yeah. I mean,
that.
I guess, and I know that's a sad, like, bar to put, but I will say so much of it was done pretty well that, like, at the same time, like, well, at least you did your damn research, you know? So I have to at least give them that, and everything. I get it, but I don't know.
But overall, it was good.
But yeah.
Poison Ivy was good. Clayface was good.
Oh, yeah.
King Shark was good. Harley Quinn is there to move the plot, I guess. I don't really care much about Harley Quinn, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
I like the other characters.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I
think the other characters make the show for me.
It's more about Poison Ivy. Like, she's a better arc in season 2. The first season.
Yeah.
I
feel bad for Kite Man, though.
I know.
I just feel bad for him.
I know. Kaiman's one of those you're like, ugh. But I think it is meant to be a little too real. Like, as in, like, a little, I don't want to say realistic, but just in that no one's really a bad person. It's just, it wasn't...
Which is funny because they're all villains, supposedly.
I know. I know. But, like, when you look at it, Kiteman wasn't exactly bad. Yes, towards the end, they make it seem really ridiculous with him all of a sudden being like, oh, yeah, she's going to be a housewife, once we get married. And you're like, what?
I feel like Dr. Psycho's the worst guy, almost.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, yes. And actually, I don't mind that too much, considering where he started from. I don't mind that he ended up just being like, okay, no, he's unforgivable. He was funny in the beginning, but I did kind of appreciate that, I will say. But yeah. I don't know. I did feel bad for Kiteman as well, but that's okay. It just wasn't meant to be, even if they did just break his heart on his wedding day.
Yeah.
Cheat on him multiple times. Spoilers.
But yeah. Overall, I would say Harley is pretty... I mean, I recommend it for anybody that likes Harley, likes DC, whatever.
If you're looking for a mature DC cartoon, that's like funny, mature, this is the one.
Is there going to be a season 3?
Yes, there is a season 3.
Yeah.
The theme of it is, because remember that I kind of based on, it's very easy to tell that the themes are about relationships. So the first season was, finally getting away from a toxic relationship. Or for Poison Ivy's sake, actually understanding what friends are for. Second season was about the romance. And then third season is supposed to be about how you kind of manage to be in a relationship that is healthy and keep it alive while having a very toxic past with relationships. So it's going to be interesting. It's definitely very mature. You don't really see that theme come up in TV shows, so I'll be interested to see how they do it.
I just want more Clayface. That's honestly that's like just what I want more of. Lady Gaga. That one still cracks me up.
I know. I was really afraid something was going to happen to him, but thankfully he's okay. But yeah.
Other than that, I've been playing Tales of Berseria.
Oh.
Their games, the titles have no meaning, literally. Like
they don't have any meaning.
I don't think the term Berseria comes up in the game at all.
No, probably not.
I've played like 10 to 12 hours. It's really good.
Okay.
It's my first Tales game.
Yeah.
And I always knew it's about like it's an action style, very anime, very JRPG.
Yes.
But apparently Tales of Berseria takes it very differently because it's a tale of revenge. It's quite dark.
Okay, I have heard it's like a little different.
Yeah.
People like
and I'm not sure if there's ever you play as the main protagonist is a female protagonist, but Tales of Berseria is a female protagonist.
Oh, that's cool.
Very skimpy, but still.
That's cool.
Yeah, but the characters are all pretty... I actually like the English voice acting, believe it or not.
They're usually pretty good. I've only played one Tales game, and I feel bad because I have to look it up. Not Tales of Symphonia. I know about that game. That's not the one I played. Which Tale? Keep talking.
But yeah,
Graces. Tales of Graces.
Characters are pretty good. Like, the side characters are pretty good. I think the biggest problem I have usually when it comes to dubs, any kind of anime games or whatever, is it's not just the actor's performance, but it's trying to say shit in English what is mostly feels more compatible in Japanese. I'm not sure if that's making sense, but when you translate, it feels like the way like all the exposition, all that shit, it feels very awkward when you're saying it in English to me. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but but in Japanese it feels more natural. I'm not sure if it's because of like the shit I watched growing up and stuff. Just in general, the things that are being said when you translate something from Japanese to English, when you say it in English, and especially if you don't have that cultural translation as well, not just the language translation, it just feels like this is kind of weird in the context of this language, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I could probably I probably wouldn't hear that as much just because my understanding of the Japanese language and culture is maybe slightly above an anime nerd's, but not much. I mean,
it's just that the Japanese style of writing, they have a style that's very obvious, right? And the English, when English media writes a different way, so when you take this one and you say it in English, it just feels like it doesn't mash too well. Yeah. So, but this English one is actually pretty solid. There are some parts where it's just pretty awkward as well because they're monologuing, and I just feel monologuing is awkward as hell most of the time, especially coming from Japanese characters, Japanese style media. Japanese style media translated to English is what I'm trying to say. The monologues are always very awkward to me. So there's that, but I actually laughed a few times. It's actually pretty funny characters and stuff. The combat is... I don't fucking understand the combat at all. So, the face buttons... I play with a controller. So, the face buttons... each of the face button has like a four chain combo that you can put on. So, you can put in each like column different moves that you can chain together. So, the square button, press 4 times, it does 4 different moves. And you can change each of those 4 different moves. And each move has its element... And each move is strong against certain types of enemies. So an enemy can be a demi-human but weak against fire, for example. Or a beast and weak against fire. So some attacks are strong against beasts and some attacks has fire elemental. Not necessarily both at the same time. And it's just going way over my head. I'm just button mashing at this point.
That is pretty bizarre. I've only played Tales of Graces, and that was with... Basically, it was a group of us because you could have more than one person play. You had one person who was the lead character, and so he did all the walking for us and talking for us and stuff, and then we just did battles.
Sounds fun.
I do not... Yeah, it wasn't bad. I do not remember that being the system.
I believe Tales of Berseria is the first one to do this. If I'm not mistaken, it's the first one to do this. Because I looked up Tales of Berseria tips and shit, and people talked about, this is the first game you can customize your combos like this or something. I'm not super sure. I'm not a Tales fan.
Right.
The reason why I got this is because they said it was different. Tales of Revenge, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I like revenge stuff, and the main character really wants revenge. I can tell you that. Yeah. But I recommend it if you like JRPGs and fighting games, action games. It's definitely a good one to play.
They seem... That's cool that they kind of flipped the script on that one, because I only know Graces. I played Graces, and I know of Symphonia. Symphonia is their famous one from a long time ago.
Yeah, that's Tales of the GameCube one, right? That's the... Yeah.
It's the one that put them on the map. I don't think it was their first one, but
I don't think it's the first one,
put them on the map.
I'm pretty sure they had a couple of games on the SNES, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right, yeah. But this was, I think, their first 3D and all that stuff.
I like Berseria enough to want to buy cosmetic DLC. Like that's...
Ooh,
yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. From what I know of Symphonia and have played of Graces, their stories, I believe, are pretty... I mean, you got your male... shonen protagonist who wants to help all his friends and save people from... Yeah, it's from what I can tell, it's very much like that. They have their different twists, but just like Final Fantasy games and Fire Emblem games, they're the same things kind of pop up, so it's cool.
But I'm enjoying it. I really do enjoy it. Another game I've been playing is Disco Elysium.
Yeah.
Anybody played that yet?
I know this game. I haven't played it.
My friend whose opinion I respect the most says it's one of his favorite games he's played recently. So I've heard amazing things about it.
I fell in love with the writing as first 10-15 minutes. It's just so good. The writing is just so good.
I feel like this game was highly recommended to me and I haven't played it.
I've seen it at most 30% off on Steam. There's no controller support, which sucks because I like playing it on the couch. I think that they're porting it to the console, so hopefully that means patching the PC version with controller support or something. Because there's no combat or anything; it's all dialogue and conversation and story, and all the D&D dice roll checks are on your different stats. So if you wanna outsmart someone, or if you wanna out physical someone, for example, those kind of stuff.
Yes, I do remember this game. I haven't played it, but it was highly recommended to me because it's basically like a D&D game.
I think it's one of the more
game.
popular indie games in recent memory. At least,
Yeah,
or maybe it's just me because of the people I follow on Twitter and stuff, and the games that I like. So the shit that's recommended to me tend to be this kind of stuff, because very niche. Because it's a computer RPG, it's a CRPG with no combat. That's a very niche market, I'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you have like voices in your head because you're pretty much like you abuse substances, so you have a lot of voices in your head as well, and you can take like alcohol and drugs for like stat boosts, which will come with like reduction in other stats and all that.
Right.
I think I'm in my third day. That's also like a time, so like time actually passes in this game, so. And certain things you can only do like at certain times. So certain things open at 1 o'clock, for example, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So you gotta do things. If you have nothing to do, the game recommends to read a book. So, it's very, very interesting, and the writing is amazing. If you just like this kind of a lot of reading kind of games, definitely play it. It has voice acting as well, so that's good.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
Not 100%. So a lot of voice acting, but not 100%.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. I like the mix in those games. I don't sometimes want voice acting for every single line. I kind of like it that it's not everything, but I like having it. It just makes me feel more engaged.
The voice actors really get into the role, I would say.
Cool. That's they're probably some beginners.
I definitely recommend it. It's a very interesting title. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I will definitely pick it up when it goes on more sale.
Yeah. Other than that, I've been playing quite a few things. Not like big AAA stuff, I guess, but like smaller stuff. Xcom Chimera Squad. I finally started playing that.
Looking forward to that for a while.
So it's a like smaller standalone game after XCOM 2. Humans and aliens are pretty much coexisting. So Chimera Squad is a mixture of humans and aliens in the XCOM division.
Are they natural hybrids, or are they like lab created hybrids?
Oh no, like they're just coexisting.
But I mean, the Chimera Squad, are they from a
the Chimera comes
alien?
the Chimera comes from a mixture of humans and aliens in the squad.
Yes. Oh, there's no hybrid people. I see.
If I'm not mistaken, there is lab clone hybrid things. One of my squad members is 5 years old, and not a kid, like lab created adult and only been alive for 5 years. But I haven't had a lot of background in it because I can't remember how XCOM 2 ended. I think they won. I think the aliens... I mean, you win the game, I guess, but the aliens stayed, I suppose. And they just coexisted. It's an okay game. The thing I hate about it the most is there's no controller support. Even though XCOM 2 had controller support, full controller support, by the way.
That's weird.
Yeah, XCOM Chimera Squad is definitely like a lower budget title and stuff, so it's definitely it's meant as a standalone, shorter experience. But it's fun being able to use like aliens and stuff in your squad. But it's definitely a smaller experience in compared to like normal XCOM games. So it will help you tide you over until XCOM 3 if that is ever coming out, I guess. But there are other like tactical games. What's the Mutant one? What's that one called again?
Yeah, Mutant Year Zero.
Yes, I played that one as well, so that was a pretty good one as well. I have Phoenix Point, which was made by the creator of XCOM. It was a Kickstarter game. It came out like a year or two ago. Have it on Epic Games. Haven't played it yet, so I really need to get to that. I'm not like super huge on the tactical stuff because it can be quite tough. So I just like to play because it's just fun, but I do ratchet down the yeah, it is. I do ratchet down the difficulty enough for me to not be frustrated about it though. And the last thing, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the last episode. Did I mention that I watched The Boys 2? And finished it?
I don't recall you mentioning that. Nice.
I don't think so.
I think season 2 is better than season 1.
I think so. I think it's like because season 1 has to kind of introduce you to the characters and like
that's true.
It just takes a while, like especially with La Femme. Like, she's like kind of like feral for most of it, and then like her acting is like the best acting of season 2, in my opinion. Like her arc is so good.
Yeah. I don't really know. Can't really say much about it. It's really good. Go and watch it.
Girls get it done.
That I like that one. It took a while to reach though.
That's true. They're kind of making fun of that scene from the Avengers, like all the girls just like posing, and then instead they actually just have girls, doing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a good payoff though. It's a good payoff for the girls get it done though. Yeah. It was really nice to see the Nazi getting punched in the face. That's most definitely...
Nazis getting beat up is always great.
Yeah.
I just started watching Lovecraft Country, and seeing, like, white supremacists get eaten by Cthulhu monsters is very gratifying.
What is this show?
So it's a Jordan Peele show, based off of a book, where you have 3 black people looking for one of their, like a family member in the southern area of America, like white supremacist, not super friendly area. And so in the first episode, they're pulled over by a corrupt cop. He's like, this is a sundown county, meaning if you're in this county and it's sundown, you're going to get lynched. And so they get like taken into the woods at gunpoint by like 4 cops. And then these monsters just like tear the cops apart. And they get away. And they go to like this like mansion. That's the end of season 1. And so it's kind of just them encountering supernatural stuff. I've only seen 2 episodes, so I don't know a lot, and I don't know what I can say without spoiling things yet.
Yeah, that's that one and Watchmen. I feel like I need to watch really badly.
Is this the show with? I think I saw a clip of like a baseball player getting destroyed by some Cthulhu-looking monster.
So the first scene, I guess spoiler, the first few minutes are a dream sequence. And so there's a baseball player who just bats Cthulhu in half.
Okay, that's funny because somebody, so I'm not sure if you all know about this, but there's I don't think it's a fantasy baseball league. Is it a fantasy baseball league? It's either a fantasy baseball league that players can participate in, choosing your own players and stuff, or it's a fantasy baseball like thing online that has a season play out, and then you can read about shit that happened in the season. And the this baseball shit has like Cthulhu monsters in it.
Nice.
And somebody actually used like the clip from that show to like.
Nice.
Okay.
It seemed like a clip from One Punch Man, because they have like Metal Bat is a superhero in One Punch Man. He's fighting, super monsters with his metal bat.
Sounds like a very interesting show.
Yeah, so far.
What is it on?
I've seen 2 episodes, but they're both very good. It's called Lovecraft Country.
You watching it on? Is it Netflix?
On a piratey server. It's HBO.
Okay, HBO.
I was gonna say I think it's HBO.
How horror is it? Would you recommend it to someone who never watches horror at all?
Yeah, I would. I mean, so the first episode's they're all about an hour long. Episode 2 has almost 0 horror. Episode 1 has a little bit of horror at the end. Like, the last 10 minutes are them in the woods with monsters. But that's not like... I don't know, it's not like scary. Like, there is a monster in the woods and there is violence happening, but it's not like tense or like jump scary. It's not. I don't know. It's not traditionally like scary. I guess it's more action-y kind of scary.
Is it the point that it's supposed to be making? I mean, because H.P. Lovecraft is a racist. Is that what they're trying to like? Because I'm gonna assume the book was also about like black people, and
I would assume so too.
Yeah,
so is he just trying to shit on H.P. Lovecraft? Like, fuck you.
Yeah,
I'm taking your shit.
H.P. Lovecraft's...
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I kind of assumed it to be.
Again, I guess this will spoil something slightly, but again, I can't spoil anything beyond 2 episodes. It turns out the main character, so there's like this long dead white cultist type character, and he was really friendly with the help, if you know what I mean. So it turns out like the main character is actually like his great grandson or whatever, which actually puts him in a position of power in this cult of super racist white people. But he's actually like the son of sons, so they kind of have to do what he says.
But he's not pure, I guess.
He's very black.
Oh, he's very black.
He's very
okay.
That's the way to put it.
Not even a hint of.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Episodic.
Yeah.
Like a 1 week once kind of thing.
Oh no, it definitely builds episode to episode. Sorry.
No, as in like it's not like Netflix where they just release everything, right?
I don't know. It's not freshly out, so I don't know if it was released all at once or episodic. It's HBO, so I assume it's episodic. But,
I was gonna say, assume it is.
It is all out by now.
Is Netflix like the only network that does the whole like
Amazon
give you everything?
Prime sometimes does it, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Netflix is the one I know that does it all at once because they promote binging. I don't mean in a bad way. That's just how they they like having like binge watching for some reason.
I really want to watch this. It's kind of like
I think you'd like.
I feel like Lovecraft is making Lovecraftian is making quite a big of a. There was a movie with what's her face, the face that doesn't move, the actress, the vampire one.
Oh,
that's meme to death.
Wig, Bell.
Kristen Stewart?
Yes, that one. Yeah. The one that's meme that she cannot act blah 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 because there's no facial expressions, but she's actually a good actress.
She's actually a great actor when she came out as bisexual.
She was in some horror movie about doing like deep diving repairs and shit, and there was like a giant Cthulhu monster. I mean Cthulhu himself, I think.
I didn't hear about
Yeah,
that.
it's hard for me to say if Lovecraftians come back because I'm with a group of friends where like Lovecraft never goes out of style. So it almost kind of becomes a bit I don't mind Lovecraft. It's it's a special kind of horror, and I like that psychological horror. So it's I do find it fun. But it I will admit I have a lot of friends that are really into it. So it's hard for me to say if it ever left out of style because it seems.
I guess more what I mean, like a HBO series is pretty big time, and a big movie is also compared to like having it in an indie game, for example.
That's
which
fair.
Is very niche.
I could say I think it is probably fair to say it has become a little bit more mainstream. And again, I guess it's hard for me to say that just because for me there's so many people. But I will admit that when I think of those people, the stuff that they liked about it. I mean, the most mainstream Lovecraftian thing that I enjoy and partake in is the board game Arkham Horror. Arkham Horror, actually. There is Call of Cthulhu.
That one's really popular, isn't it?
It's pretty popular as a
Arkham
board game.
Horror.
Yeah, Arkham Horrors. Arkham Horrors. It's a favorite board game of mine. It's a cooperative role-play board game. Like you have like your characters come with stats, and it's kind of like I don't know if you guys ever played Pandemic.
Call of Cthulhu is a board game.
Yes, as is Arkham Horror. They're two different board games.
Because there's actually a game, like a electronic video game called Call of Cthulhu.
Yes, there is.
I wonder if it's based on the thing or not.
It could be. I've never played Call of Cthulhu.
But that sounds like a infringement of trademark, though, right?
I mean, Cthulhu is public domain. I'm pretty sure.
But Call of Cthulhu, though.
Probably.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know because I haven't played.
I mean, part of what made Cthulhu so popular when it came out was that was it like back in the 1870s or whatever it was? Lovecraft would like write to other authors, and he'd have them like insert references to Cthulhu in their work. Like, you'd be reading some like Western novel, and the cowboys would like hide in some cave, and there'd be like Cthulhu cave drawings. And so kind of like overnight, like people are like, this Cthulhu thing, like it's kind of everywhere. It's like, it seems like it's a real thing because like no one had really done like a spread like campaign like that before. So it kind of just grew into almost like this zeitgeisty thing.
I actually don't know, but that could definitely see that.
It's an interesting way to do marketing.
It is. I know, I like it. I kind of like it. H.P. Lovecraft was an asshole, but he
Yeah,
had interesting ideas.
Yeah.
He had some. I like the the horrors, the unspeakable horrors thing.
Yes.
I find his writing comically
dry.
It's like this thing, it was so horrible. Words can't describe how horrible it was. Like that's not writing, you know? Like,
yeah, I never actually read his stuff. My brother did because every teenage boy that was nerdy did. And yeah, he described his writing as ridiculously dry, just almost unattainable. That's why honestly, like from what I like how his stuff has been used. You know,
like
that's
Hellboy
more of what I appreciate.
They're definitely rooted in Cthulhu stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, it's because he was kind of, I mean, he basically made Eldritch Horror. Like, he was basically, from what I understand, the creator of it, or at least...
Yeah, cosmic horror, Eldritch horror.
Yeah, exactly. And that stuff always interests me. You know, it's just, it's different, right? You know, it's bigger than all of us. And Cthulhu, it's funny, Cthulhu's not even, like, the biggest, scariest one.
Yeah.
He really isn't. In Arkham Horror, the whole point is that one of the monsters from Lovecraft is invading this town. And you find out at the end who it's going to be, and there are some that are harder to defeat than others. And Cthulhu is one of the easier ones. There is one monster, I cannot remember its name. It's a very simple name, but literally his whole thing is that all of the world and humanity is his dream, and you don't want to wake him up, because if you wake him up, we blink out of existence.
How much of the lore that we know now of Eldritch Horror is actually from H.P. Lovecraft and not just continually, you know, expanded upon by like other people?
It's an excellent question. I don't know. I mean, lots of stuff with Cthulhu has certainly kind of gone through the trenches, I would say, for sure, especially if you see any game where it's like, this is Cthulhu. I will say, like, for instance, I don't mean to keep bringing up Arkham Horror, but it's my main, like, knowledge of it. The monsters referenced there, obviously they have to make into a game, so it's a little different, but, like, their descriptions come from quotes from Lovecraft, so take that as you will. I would definitely say Cthulhu has gone through quite a bit of, you know, pop culture changes for sure of what it represents. But
since we're talking about shows and stuff, Blood of Zeus is out.
Yes, I need to watch
Netflix
that.
anime. Yeah, I really want to watch it.
Yeah, I need to look into that.
I
think we talked about last week, didn't we?
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
The animation is by the same people who made Castlevania. So when you watch it, you're like, yeah, this is Castlevania. Yeah.
And I remember because I was like, oh, I don't mind. That was beautiful animation.
Yeah, very, very, very beautiful.
Beautiful.
I just want more Castlevania. Jesus fuck.
I need to watch season 3. I haven't watched season 3 yet. I only watched 1 and 2, and I forgot they were 2 separate.
Before I forget, we're talking about Castlevania. There's a game on Kickstarter called Romancylvania. So
Yes.
I'm gonna back it. I'm gonna like wait until near the end. They're asking for like 200K. There's at the time of this recording, I think about 7 or 6 days left, and they have to get like another 70,000 to reach their funding goal.
200,000. That's a lot. What are they doing?
It's a Castlevania game. I mean, not in the, you know what I mean. So, side-scrolling action. You play as Dracula.
Okay.
So there's all the action stuff. There's all the weapons, RPG, stats, those kind of shit.
Okay.
But the thing with this one is, Dracula, I think needs help from somebody. So the levels and shit that you play in are levels. You're basically in a love reality show, like romance reality show. Dracula then will romance and fuck all the monsters, both female and male. Like, so like there's male werewolves, Medusas. There's like there's also this like pumpkin sorceress with pumpkin boobs that you can romance.
Oh my
gosh. The two like main devs, it's a husband and wife team. I know the husband used to. I think both of them used to work on like the BioShock games or something, and like so like they have like experience and shit. So
you know what?
It's just interesting, and I'll probably back it. I love Castlevania.
Okay,
you know
what?
that.
I can appreciate that, and here's why. I don't know the name of it, but there's this game that my brother and my wife have been raving about that I think was being made. It's not on Kickstarter, but it's being made and about to release on Steam. And it's basically the premise of it is it's like a space opera like a la Mass Effect.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, but it's just about having sex with alien babes.
I want to play that.
And they've been like, oh, it's going to be great. And my main thing about it that I hate is like, I mean, maybe they have changed since then. It was a long time ago when I saw the preview. But basically, it's all just, okay, you're one man. There's all these hot alien chicks. They all have the same bodies. Well, it's just they all, like, and that's part of the reason I hate it so much is like, okay, they have the same body models. They just have different textures and slightly different heads. Like, that's not creative or interesting. Like, if you're going to make it a romance game, right?
Yeah,
like,
you need different,
give me
very
some
different
variety
characters.
Here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that Romancevania, the characters are all very different looking.
Yes, well, I figured they must be if they did usually if they include men and women, they're going to go a little extra on, you know.
And you can also play female Dracula if you want to.
Nice.
It was supposed to be a what's the thing called when you reach a certain number and then they put in extra features in the Kickstarter?
The Kickstarter goals.
Yeah, stretch goal. Yeah, stretch goals.
Stretch goals.
Yeah, it was a 400k stretch goal, and they were like, "Fuck it, let's just do it." So that's cool. It's been in development for a while, so I'm not sure what happens though if they're not gonna get funding because 200k is quite a bit. 70k in 6 days is quite a lot.
Yeah, do you know how much they got in their first couple of days?
Yeah. I don't remember.
Because Kickstarter trajectory, what you want to see is basically this.
Yeah.
From what I've heard.
At the beginning and the end are the two biggest ones.
Yep. So if they got like with their first 6 days like 60 to 70k, they're probably gonna be okay. But that is still a lot of money.
Yeah. Hopefully, I really want this game to get made. I really want it to get made. But yeah, I know that what game you're talking about, Sarah, and I was like, my favorite part of Mass Effect 2 is my favorite Mass Effect game, and it's one of my favorite games of all time.
Without question.
Yeah, without question. Some people would like Mass Effect 1, I would say. Some people, I think.
They do. There are some crazies. But whatever.
Yeah, and the fucking casuals, they like Mass Effect 3. My favorite parts of Mass Effect 2 is just being on the I've mentioned this so many times already. Just being on the ship and talking to the characters. That's my favorite part of it.
My favorite part by far.
Yeah. So I was like, this plus sex? Yeah, sure. I definitely want to play it. But it sucks. You just said that I because I didn't really follow it that much. I'm just waiting for it to come out and see what reviews are saying about it. Yeah. But it sucks that they didn't even bother to put in like different character models and shit.
And to be fair, that
because
could have
I think
changed.
The funding is quite a lot for this game.
Yeah.
I think they even have a Patreon.
Yeah, I think they did. And like I said, it was a long time ago. I saw the preview and I went, oh, like this just... Because I just kind of become having an eye for that kind of stuff. Like, I just can't play traditional, like, straight, samey, romance games anymore. They're really boring to me. So that was the first thing I noticed. But like I said, it's been in development for a while, so maybe they got a little better. But even if all they got better and was, we have different size boobs, like, that doesn't mean
Boob slider. Oh my god.
Exactly.
So I'm just on the fucking Kickstarter page now. They asked for 100,000 pounds, and they got 1.6 million pounds. Motherfucker, you better put different models and not just a fucking boob slider.
What's the name of the game?
Subverse. Subverse. Look up for Subverse or Subverse Sci-Fi RPG.
Subverse. Okay.
I looked up Mass Effect sex game, and that's gonna fuck up my search history now. But
yeah, have fun. Is that it? Wait, this isn't. Wait, that's a web series. That's not right.
So they have a Steam page, and they have a Kickstarter page.
This Subverse doesn't look right. It looks like it's a movie. It's called Subverse, you said?
Subverse, yeah. Look up Subverse RPG. Shit.
Okay, maybe. Okay, there's a game called Subverse that doesn't look right. RPG. Wait, no, that's not right. Hold on. Because what came up was definitely not the game I was thinking of. Let me see. Okay, no, this looks right. Yes, this is it. Why did that not show up in the Steam page? Oh, it's no longer on Steam. What the heck?
It is.
It is?
Yeah, there's a Steam page still.
Hold on. It wouldn't let me see it. Give me a second. I apparently
You
have to
might
log
have
in.
turned
You're not
on.
old enough.
Oh, you know what? It is the age thing, I bet.
Yeah, because
Hold on, guys.
because they opened the floodgates to all these like games with a lot of nudity and sex and stuff, and then they
Yes,
added
you're
that
correct.
gating thing.
Okay, yep, you're right. That was the problem. So yeah, let me see this here. Yeah, I mean, they might be slightly different, but I gotta say, they don't look different enough.
Yeah.
Like, I get it that they're different, like, species and stuff, but the boobs don't even look that different.
And the thing about this is the sex game stuff tend to be quite expensive, so I'm not even sure if I want to put money into getting this. If it goes in sale or something, I guess.
Yeah.
I love
I mean, it looks... Sorry.
I love how we started talking about... I don't know what the fuck we started talking about, and then we went to...
Heck if I know.
Mass
I think we were
Effect
talking about Castlevania's animation,
Dracula
and then we got to
sex.
Castlevania.
It's always
Yeah,
a sex
see,
games.
yeah. See, like, it looks beautiful. The game's graphics are amazing.
Yeah, it's those
But yeah, the
shiny Unreal
character-
Engine looking stuff.
Yep. But those female character models just all look very samey to me. They're even, like, similar shaped tits. I don't understand that. It's weird. Like, you don't have to have all big-boobed girls. Like, alright, those jiggle physics. Okay. Anyway, we can stop there.
I want 0G jiggle physics.
Yes.
What have you been playing for? Or watching, I guess.
I've been playing a game that I think you would actually like called, what is it called? It's called Remnant, and the
Of Ashes?
subtext is Remnant from the Ashes. Yeah.
From the Ashes. Is that third person shooty that's supposed to be like Souls-like, right?
It's a third-person shooter game. It mechanically has a lot of things identical to Dark Souls. Like there's a bonfire system where enemies
Stamina bar?
respawn. And you can teleport. There's a stamina bar. There's dodge rolling with iframes. Other than dodging, it feels like a Left 4 Dead kind of game. Like just the way you run around and shoot mobs. It's not Dark Soulsian at all in terms of difficulty or level.
Really?
The levels are randomly generated, which means like Dark Souls, enemies are very precisely placed. It's almost like a puzzle to get to the level. And like when you beat when you get to a boss, like if you die at the boss, you have to fight your way back up to the boss. So it's almost like getting good enough at the level to get to the boss with enough HP to then fight the boss is part of the
design,
experience.
right?
In this game, they are very generous with the bonfires. So right before every boss is a bonfire. So that's not a thing.
Okay.
It's almost a little grindier because like each location has multiple bosses that can potentially spawn. So like if you play through the campaign once, you'll have seen about half of the bosses. And so there's kind of this adventure system where you can replay locations and just encounter the other things that could have spawned in an RNGE kind of way. And this take about like an hour to do. I have beaten the game on normal. So say it's easy. It's easy on normal. I like it. I like the level of easiness though. I don't want it to be harder. Like I'm liking the difficulty level. Like maybe a little harder would be okay, but I don't want to struggle too much right now.
Epic Games gave it away for free.
Elements. Yes, they did.
And I have it, so...
It has 3-person co-op, so we could play together.
Wait, are you playing the Epic Games one?
No, but you can link them.
Oh, that's cool.
I believe. I saw, because I was having trouble. I was playing with some friends on Steam, and so I was Googling how to do it, because he had the DLC and I didn't have the DLC, so he couldn't link until he figured that he had to disable the DLC first. But when I was Googling that, I think I saw that people with Epic's accounts...
And it's like a loot grinder, it's a looter shooter.
Yeah, I'd say so. There's a fair amount of grinding to upgrade your gear, and there's a fair amount of like RNG grinding to get certain enemies to spawn, certain bosses to spawn, so you can get their gear. And a good chunk of the bosses,
Wait, hold
not
up.
all bosses.
Can you go back to that? You
What?
gotta grind for the bosses to spawn?
So whenever, like, this is what I was saying, whenever you spawn a zone, there's different bosses that it can have.
Okay.
So like when you play through the campaign, you will only have seen about 50% of the bosses. And so then you do the adventure mode to just replay different zones over and over again.
So you don't get you don't get to choose a zone to get a specific boss kind of thing. It's all random basically.
Yeah, in campaign it's less random. Like there are certain things you have to hit, but there's a good chunk of randomness. And a lot of bosses you want to fight multiple times because depending upon how you beat them, you get different loot. Like it's not like in Dark Souls, there are certain bosses, like if you cut off their tail, you get the tail piece, and then you beat the boss, and you get the boss piece. This is like, no. It's like, if you cut this guy's tail off, you get the tail piece, period. But if you don't cut the tail off, you get the normal piece. Like, it's an either-or kind of thing. It's not an and thing, which is interesting. But these pieces can only be crafted into one thing. Because in Dark Souls, if you have like a boss soul, you're like, oh, I can craft this weapon, or I can craft this weapon. I don't know which one I want. In this, it's like, no, I can only craft this into this one thing, so I might as well just do it. Yeah, so gear's a thing. A big mechanic too is, so for your weapon slots, you have a rifle type weapon, a pistol type weapon, and a melee weapon. Both of your ranged weapons have a slot which you can essentially put a spell into. And spells are things like, it could be a buff, it could be a heal, it could be an attack, it could be a summon for a pet. And as you use that weapon, it charges back up to have another charge to be used. I don't know. I'm only 27 hours in.
It's quite a bit.
I beat the game like 13 hours in, taking my time, and I'm just kind of grinding to see the things I didn't see, and to get more levels, because you have you unlock traits, and traits are just like for every rank you have in this trait, your ranged damage goes up by 0.75%, or every rank you have in this trait, you get plus 2.5 HP. So some of them are harder to unlock. Like I just unlocked one that increases my speed. A lot of the stuff is a lot of the stuff to unlock is a little obtuse. Like I definitely wouldn't have done it on my own without having like just Googled like what are some cool things to unlock. Fortunately, none of that is needed for the campaign. The campaign's pretty straightforward. Just you can do the campaign. Like I got confused on the campaign on the final boss because I'm like, is this the final boss? Like it seems really hard, and I haven't even found the final resource yet. Because like my weapon, I had some weapons that were upgraded enough. Like we take heavy irons. Like I haven't even seen heavy iron drop. Like I'm not sure if I'm supposed to fight this boss yet, but I super was. It's just the drop stuff's kind of weird that I won't get into here. But it's good. The story is really, really cool. I like it a lot. The studio is actually working on another game that is a prequel to this game called Chrono, which I will probably pick up because it looks cool.
Did you get the DLCs? I think there's 2 or something.
I did end up picking up the DLCs after beating the game. I haven't played them yet.
Sounds cool. I might give it a shot, actually.
Yeah, it's like I think you'd like it. It kind of scratches. It's what I wanted Destiny to be. If you like Destiny, you'll like this game, I think. That's pretty fair to say. It doesn't have the same MMO elements, but it has a lot of the same reward cycles. Yeah, it's kind of in that Borderlands category, where it's like, I wouldn't really call it a good game, but I'm really liking it.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, so I've been playing that.
That's what we say a lot about these, like, games for service, looter shooters, Warframe, Borderlands.
They're very much...
They're good with the gameplay loop and the reward loop.
They're very modern games. Where I was reading an interesting post in our game devs, how like the vast majority of like game innovation for the last like 5 or plus years hasn't been about storytelling or gameplay. It's been about like those feedback loops to create like addictive games. That's where most of the innovation and like science has been towards. So I feel like a lot of the games I play do that, where it's like, oh man, like it does some stupid stuff, but I'm finding it addictive. So I don't know, interpret it however you will, I guess. I don't know. I think that's pretty much it for what I've been playing. I played a little bit more WoW. 2 weeks until the expansion comes out. So I'm probably not going to play it much until the expansion comes out. There is some stuff pre-expansion to do, but that hasn't dropped yet. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it in terms of playing stuff. In terms of watching things, I was watching Lovecraft Country. I watched Addams Family Values for the first time. That's a fun, weird movie.
Oh, that one.
I'm watching westerns. I'm taking a western improv class, so giving us homework to watch westerns. So I watched like Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood and Morgan Freeman and Gene Hackman, and I watched the new True Grit with Jeff Bridges and Matt Damon.
Yes,
and then, like,
I saw that a long time ago.
I'd seen that. Yeah, I saw it when it first came out, and I liked it. I forgot there's like one very minor detail about the ending, which made me very, very sad, which I'd forgotten. So the end of the movie. This is kind of a spoiler-free thing. This is after the climax. Just like the end of the movie, she's been bitten by a snake. Like, oh no, we need to get her to town so she doesn't get poisoned.
Right.
And so Jeff Bridges is taking her on her horse, and he's like riding the horse like to death. She's like, stop. And she's like, clearly out of it, delirious.
Right.
And he like pulls his knife out and he stabs the horse in the butt so it keeps running. And eventually they run the horse so much like it collapses, and so they get off, and he shoots the horse in the head, and he picks her up and he keeps running. And it just made me really sad. Like I just forgotten it, and I wasn't really prepared for it. It's like, that's a bummer.
Yeah, gosh, it's been cause the new one. I never watched the old one, but the new one, I remember I watched it. That was some time ago. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I forgot about 2012, that scene.
Whatever it was.
Yeah, it's a little messed up. I agree.
Yeah.
How are you also watching any like of the old samurai stuff? Very closely tied to westerns.
Not as part of the class. The hard part of the
Kurosawa stuff and all that.
They're all like 3 hours long. Like I need to watch Yojimbo. I need to watch Seven Samurai. I need to watch like 310 to Yojima or whatever. But like. I just haven't.
They are very long. I do understand that.
Yeah. That's pretty much it for me. I know there's something that I was looking forward to talking about. I can't remember what it was right now.
Aw, man.
What about Sarah?
It's been pretty quiet for me. I had gotten recently married, so that took a lot of my attention. And the election. That took a lot of my attention too. Anyway, did some more 14. Nothing super new there. I think I mentioned you guys I finally got a house, but I think that was months ago.
Yeah.
So that's nothing new. Woo. Nothing super new there. I live in that it's there. As far as shows, I'm trying to think. Gosh, we got on. So I think you guys know this, that I used to be there was a time in my life for a couple of years I was kind of obsessed with like Kitchen Nightmares after it'd been off the air.
We all get that sometimes. We just binge watch on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah. And so because like it was just so funny because like Kitchen Nightmares was kind of like my post-grad stress relief. Like it was like the end of my like grad school and I was super stressed out, and so I started watching Kitchen Nightmares and just kind of bled through. And so then when I met my now wife, we actually started watching Kitchen Nightmare, more of it together. And we've gone through probably every episode you can find on YouTube. So we started instead watching. Have you guys ever heard of Bar Rescue?
I've heard of it.
By Jack Taffer. Similar concepts. You've got this really loud. He's New York guy who's had major experience with bars trying to rescue these bars, and they're always filthy and terrible and blah, 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 blah. And it's a little different from Kitchen Nightmares on what it focuses on, because there's a little bit more that, like, besides just focusing, like, on the food and, to make it look nice, he focuses a lot more on, like, training the staff and really upping the food and the drinks quality and, like, really changing the setup of everything and stuff like that. So it's a little, like, more detailed in how they do things, and Jack Taffer is a little. I don't know who screams more, him or Gordon. I will say that he's more quick to forgive, I think, than Gordon is in certain situations. But he definitely, I think, like is more attacking initially. It's the same old kind of reality TV drama shit, and we just get soak it all up. I don't watch The Bachelorette 'cause it's too unrealistic in reality TV. Give me more Bar Rescue. Besides that, we're keeping up to date with Mandalorian season 2.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm still enjoying it. Have you guys seen episode 2? Not the most recent one, but episode 2?
I have. Actually, that's one thing I wanted to bring up. One of the things I love about episode 1, this is completely spoiler-free, they double down on using parsecs as a measurement of time. Because the line is like, I've been waiting around for parsecs for you. Why are you so late? Or something like that. It's like, they're not backing down.
Nope, they're even though it makes no sense, they're going to keep it there.
It doesn't make any sense.
I know, it's so
funny. I appreciate it.
So good. Well, episode 2, if it's not too much of a spoiler, but I think my favorite thing about episode 2 was not my favorite just because I'm usually okay with spiders, but like that was a fear I had to get over. It was not like I was very afraid of spiders as a kid, but like I kind of had to like get over it.
How did you do that? I'm still not over it.
It's a little, that episode was too much. I actually have a friend who, I don't want to say she has arachnophobia, but pretty close. I actually texted her and was like, content warning for episode 2. Just because it's a little too much even for me with how they do it. But my favorite,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. What was it?
I have like a very strong memory of the spider from episode 2. Like I feel like I've seen it before, like either as an artist's concept, like this spider is native to Dagobah or Kashyyyk, or like I've seen that spider before. And I should Google where.
I can tell you what my brother thought it was. Okay. He thinks it was he seems to have a hard time finding the evidence of it besides one picture, so I can't say whether this is true. But he's pretty sure he saw it as what they original as Bacta spiders of originally how Bacta tanks were made. Okay. That's what he said. That's what he said. So, if that helps. They're still terrifying. I think the new canon
is like Bacta's manufactured by a different insectoid humanoid species, but that rings a strong bell when you say that.
Yeah. I think it's not really canon, but I think it seems like what's come from. Yeah. No, my favorite thing about that whole thing is I still love the child, Baby Yoda, whatever you want to call him. But he got people like after episode 2 really hated him online because he eats poor woman's eggs.
That was gross. I did not like that at all. I don't not disparaging. Didn't make me think less of him. I just thought it was gross and I didn't like it.
I know. The reason it was so funny when we were watching was we saw him look at the eggs and my brother just like, wouldn't it be funny if he just eats one? And we're just kind of laughing at it. And so then when he eats one, we all just went, and he keeps eating. So bad.
Repeatedly. My favorite Reddit post I saw afterwards was, if there's anything the Mandalorian's driving home, it's that, like, Yoda went to Dagobah not to hide, but because he is the apex predator. Everything within miles of Yoda breathed a sigh of relief when he died, because he just eats everything swamp-like.
I saw that. It was so funny. But yeah, so that was great. But yeah, I mean, Mandalorian's already starting off pretty strong. Who do you think that is at the end of episode 1?
Oh, yeah. So I don't know how much of what I've read is canon anymore, so I don't know. But I remember I read a comic about when Order 66 came, a lot of Jedi, a lot of them died, a lot of them hid. There was a Jedi named, I think, Sherrod Het, who lived with Tusken Raiders. And I think he had a human wife, not a Tusken Raider wife, but he and she had a child named Sherrod Het, who, spoiler alert, this is a big reveal actually, he later comes on to be the big bad of the Star Wars Legacy comics.
Oh, interesting, okay.
And so I think that was him, but...
Oh, really?
Again, I don't know if what I read was canon anymore.
Fett.
So, yeah, who knows?
Yeah, we thought it might be Boba Fett, so we'll see.
Boba Fett? That would be way cooler. I'd prefer that.
Yeah, that's what we think it is, just because his armor. But it's hard to say. We'll see. We haven't heard anything higher tail of it yet. But yeah, anyway, Mandalorian's still fun. I'm enjoying it.
Because I also read a story about how Boba Fett flew out of the Sarlacc pit and went on to have more adventures, and that clearly didn't happen anymore in canon if his armor's being owned by whatever Oliphant. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but
also,
I'm trying.
I can't say anything anymore about that episode without getting into spoiler territory. The episode 1 was very good, but a little frustrating in certain parts.
Oh, I see. Did you know that they actually hired on a person hard of hearing? Yeah, to make up like the Tusken language. Term. Yes, sign language. And he was also one of the actors of the Tusken Raiders as well.
Good.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
That's
that's all really I think I've done. Unfortunately, I was very tired. So that's all I really have.
Understandable.
Guess are we into news time?
I guess it's news time.
I guess so.
Before that, there's currently a fighting game sale on Steam, and Soul Calibur
like $2 each now.
Soul Calibur 6 is 84% off.
Oh,
The
my
real
goodness.
lowdown. You can get Blaze Blue, you can get Skullgirls, Guilty Gear, whatever you want. They're all a couple dollars.
I'm very tempted because I do enjoy the Soul Calibur games, just by button mashing. I'm not a pro or whatever, but also because the character creation is insane.
That's true.
Like, I create all sorts of characters from all sorts of media franchises. But yeah, if you want to look into fighting games, news time. I guess there's not much.
Anybody get the new consoles? We could not get a PS5, so.
Nah.
I didn't try.
I'm just gonna play Miles Morales Spider-Man on my PlayStation 4 like a poor pleb that I am.
Yeah, heck yeah. Hey man, no shame.
But
it's a good game, it looks like.
Apparently the Spider-Man Miles Morales PlayStation 4 one does upgrade to PlayStation 5 later on if you...
Oh, cool.
That's nice.
The Spider-Man PlayStation 4 does not upgrade to PlayStation 5.
Okay.
So you got to put in an extra $20. It's not fair at all. Fuck that. They just added a fucking extra face. They just changed the fucking face, okay? That's all they did.
I know. I know it's dumb.
It's just annoying. But I'm definitely going to get a PlayStation 5. I'm just not going to get it now.
Yeah.
There's no games.
That's
but
probably...
it's just Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's
I'm
probably
not
what's going to happen
one,
with us,
but I
too.
do want a PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
I would
for
say
sure.
if you want to... I'd say PlayStation 5 is a pretty good one to get because... like 95% of the PlayStation 4 games are playable on PlayStation 5.
Oh, that's cool.
So you get like this one console, you can play all the PlayStation 4 backlog, and I'm sure you can find like super cheap physical copies at your game stores, bargain bins.
Yeah.
Of like Horizon Zero Dawn,
I
God
want
of
to
War.
play the Miyazaki game.
Be a little more specific.
Demon Souls.
Ni no Kuni.
No, just a second.
Elden Ring. Wait, which?
Elden Ring, thank you. Yeah, that's right. Elden Ring.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know that one.
That's the From Software
I mean,
game that
Ghibli.
they're working
Why
on.
did I say Miyazaki?
I think his name is Miyazaki, isn't it?
Yeah, Miyazaki from Studio Ghibli, right?
Okay,
No,
okay,
I
I'm
think
right.
that's
I'm not
two-
crazy. Cool.
Yeah, that's why I said Ni no Kuni, because that's the
There
first...
are multiple Miyazakis though, right? Like, wasn't there a Miyazaki
Wait.
who also...
Elden Ring is from
Hidetaka Miyazaki.
Software, and Hidetaka Miyazaki is the guy who made the Souls games, and there's also a Miyazaki at
Yes.
Ghibli.
Yes,
Okay,
right.
so there's two Miyazakis. I mean, there's I'm sure thousands of Miyazakis everywhere, but we don't care about you.
Sure.
We only care about these two Miyazakis,
I know.
the Ghibli guy and the Souls guy. I mean, he also made like the Armored Core stuff, but everybody loves the
Right.
Souls stuff now, so.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Elden Ring is the one you're thinking about, the upcoming From Software. I'm not sure if it's a Souls-like game or what, but Phil Spencer, the Xbox boss, is he still the Xbox boss?
Good question. I don't know.
Apparently, he played quite a bit of Elden Ring and calls it Miyazaki's most ambitious game.
Ambitious. That's a loaded
Ambitious.
word.
Ambitious.
What does that
Alright.
mean?
What's that mean?
Yeah.
Jump mechanics work?
Okay, just a couple of new stuff, and then we can talk about some games that were announced/released. GameStop just
What they
did
do now?
their annual staff conference type thing where they talk about, like, I'm guessing they do these annual conferences right before Black Friday because that makes sense. So, and usually in these annual conferences they talk about internal contests. You can win like a PlayStation 5 or whatever, like you can win devices and stuff by
Yeah.
selling the most of a certain game or whatever, those kind of stuff. It's common. A lot of incentives for
for sure.
companies do this. But this year they went in a very weird direction.
Oh no.
Part of their internal contest is GameStop asking the employees to make a dance on TikTok, and the best dance on TikTok wins Amazon Echo devices, $100 $100 Visa gift card, and 10 additional labor hours.
Of pay?
No, you get the privilege to work additional hours like overtime during Black Friday week.
Oh boy. I hope I lose.
So you have to you have to dance for the privilege to work extra hours during Black Friday week.
For your privilege. Oh, what a boring dystopia.
Jesus Christ.
Right?
Did one of the fuckers just read like some 1984 or some shit? Like, what the fuck?
Dude.
Where the fuck do these fuckers get these ideas?
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
And I love that they... Oh, and
I hear 10 more hours of work.
They had a backlash and they took it down because they have this website where all the information from the annual conference is put up, and they took it down from their website already. I'm not sure if they're still doing it silently or whatever, but I love that they said 10 additional labor hours for use. Usually you say that when it's like paid time off or something. You use paid time off. You don't use labor hours. That's just...
Yeah, what?
This fucker's making us dance to work now. Jesus fuck.
I know. Jeez. How is GameStop still alive?
They're just,
how are they not
they're
dead?
so big, and physical games are still a thing. And I don't want physical games to die. To be honest, I really don't want the physical.
True.
I do get that. It's just it boggles.
But they are dying. A lot of stores have been closed. Didn't they close 700 stores or something recently?
They probably did.
Something crazy and that's because apparently the GameStops in the US is like Starbucks as well. Like every fucking corner.
Yeah.
Like you can go to a GameStop, you can come out of one GameStop and see another one like across the street or some shit.
It did used to be that way. No, that
makes
true.
no sense.
We're several. I genuinely don't know, because it was very common to be like, yep, there's a GameStop on this strip mall, and then in this actual mall, and that's not too
every
surprising.
parking lot plaza of shops would have a GameStop in there and a Starbucks.
Yep.
But to make one walking distance away, that's insane. That's that makes no sense unless they couldn't get a bigger building to hold all their stock or something. Maybe, I guess.
I couldn't even tell you. I go to GameStop mostly I just like looking around sometimes.
It's fun. It's fun to go into a huge game shop like that and just look.
That's pretty much why I do it. Not that I really go to stores at all anymore, to be honest with you.
Okay, so
still.
I'm a bit confused with this labor hour thing because are they going to be open at all?
I mean,
is it a state by state thing? That's why. Because of COVID, I mean.
I see. Well, I don't think any state has done any. Our state might do a lockdown, but I don't know if any states have officially done another lockdown yet.
Because remember the time when they tried to argue that they were essential services?
Yes. Yeah.
I do.
Yes. Oh no, that was great.
Was that nationwide
so
or was that a specific state? I don't even remember. I'm guessing it's a state.
I think it was a state thing, but it just didn't. It wasn't gonna work. I think it was a state thing though, because the shutdowns were very much recommended by the president after the fact, but it was state by state. It's just that pretty much at one point we all did shut down.
Are any states doing maybe not full lockdown, so only essential services and restaurants doing delivery, but maybe if you want to go in a store, only 5 people can go in a store depending on the size?
Michigan has some rules about that right now. It's mostly for restaurants, but I think it is by if you're, depending on how much square foot of a building you are, only this many people can be in at a time. I've only really seen it for small grocery stores. There's a local grocery market we have that is very strict about that. And for restaurants. I haven't seen it for very big buildings. They don't seem to really be doing that. So I think it's for smaller buildings that they have those rules in place. But I think also store policies kind of apply too on that case. So I think that affects it. I am expecting Michigan to do another more of a fuller lockdown. Our workplace actually did a lockdown again. We're not, except for very special cases, we're not supposed to come to the office anymore. So I think that's probably going to preclude some more in Michigan as well. Our cases are just, it's rising very badly.
Talking about Black Friday, a few first-party Nintendo titles are on sale on Amazon and like all the big stores. So like Fire Emblem Three Houses is like $40. So if you wanna get it.
I recently found out the Wonderful 101 was on PC. I don't know how long that's been true for, but that's cool. I might pick that up soon. But it's on sale.
Yeah, exactly. I need to actually like play my Switch again. I kind of like just forget to because I'm just so tired these days. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty bad about it. I need to just pick it up again. We'll see. I'm supposed to be on my honeymoon in a couple weeks. We're not really sure what that's gonna look like, so we'll see. Yay, fun stuff. But yeah, it's a good question though. I don't know what Black Friday's gonna look like. It's so interesting because when I hear my friends that are like, guys, stay home, no offense to them, it's just, everyone stay home. It's about Thanksgiving. It's about like, hey, don't like cancel your Thanksgiving plans. Don't do any big gatherings. I haven't heard anything about Black Friday sales, about like,
even the PlayStation 5, Sony basically said, don't fucking go to the stores. It's all online.
Yeah. And I don't know. I haven't really heard what stores are doing for Black Friday. Because I know there was the whole, like, Cyber Monday thing, but I can't imagine that they won't. I don't know. I don't know what's going to look like. I haven't heard anybody talk about it. I never do physical Black Friday shop. I don't really do any kind of Black Friday. The only
I
Black
see
Friday
your
sales
videos on it. It's fucking insane, man.
Dude,
insane.
People die. Don't they get injured and shit and trampled?
Clear, the kind of people who I expect to do that are the kind of people who I would not be surprised if they still would try to do it
during the COVID. That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Kind of all the Karens come out on Black Friday. It's
you gotta get your 65-inch TV, I guess. Social services.
Yeah.
I've never done Black Friday shopping. The closest I've done to Black Friday shopping was maybe go on Steam on Black Friday, and that is it. I'm very bad about shopping, though. Like, I'm the worst gift giver in the universe. I'm very bad at
just
giving
gift cards.
So, I know, but I feel bad about it, though. It stresses me out. So anyway.
Unless it's like, you're not your significant other and stuff, just give a gift card. I don't care about you too much to be thinking about this shit.
I warned my wife, like, when we got together, I was like, I'm the worst with gifts. I just need to warn you that. Like, and the problem too is I will give random gifts, but they will not be for any reason or any holiday. I will just be like, oh, like literally I had a friend that was doing random t-shirt sales as a thing she was doing, and I got a bunch of t-shirts for everybody in the house. There was no reason for it. I just did it. But then it's like, oh shit, it's Christmas. And suddenly I'm stressing out. I don't know what it is. I'm really bad at gift giving. But yeah, no, I hear you. Gift cards for the win. Who doesn't want cash?
So that's Black Fridays and GameStop asking people to dance for work hours, I guess. Jesus Christ.
Dance for your money. Your work.
This next news literally happened a few hours ago. I woke up and saw this. There was a hoax hostage situation at Ubisoft Montreal.
Yes, I just heard about that too. I didn't read about it though.
Somebody is saying that people probably called in like a swatting incident kind of thing.
Okay.
So, because people saw like the Ubisoft employees going onto the roof of the Montreal office and like barricading the door behind them, that kind of stuff. At first, I was like, that's kind of weird. But I guess they were given instructions maybe by the authorities to do that to like keep safe. But it was a hoax. There was nothing. Like, everybody's safe, and which is good. Everybody's safe. But Jesus Christ.
I'm glad everyone's safe, but why?
Weird.
And they closed off like a huge perimeter around the building as well.
Of course.
It just fucks up everybody's day.
How do you go back to work after that? I'd be like, see you guys. I'll come back in a couple days.
Game offices, they need to... Game developers, publishers, whatever, the office, they need to keep their address as a secret. Like, fuck that. No.
I know. They can't legally let you know.
It's a bit far.
Like a campus shooting last year.
What?
That's true, yeah. I think so, yeah.
There was a shooting at the YouTube campus?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't think anyone actually got hit.
Was it like a 10 subscriber YouTuber or something?
Something like that, yeah. She's like, YouTube's they're deliberately like discriminating against me. Like I should have way more subs, but because of YouTube employees, I don't. Kind of crap.
Oh man. Oh, it's a woman.
It was a woman.
Oh really? Oh, that's interesting.
Women TV shooters too, you guys. It's 2020.
That is like that's interesting.
You know what's the worst part?
No, you're right. Yeah.
The worst part is her name is Nasim Najavi Akdam.
Oh yeah, that's.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's not a. Okay, that's all the new stuff. But are you gonna get Mass Effect Trilogy?
Yes.
Okay. Like full price, like launch day, first day. Okay.
Yeah. Just give it to me.
Yeah. I would.
Give it to me now.
I would if I didn't have such a huge ass backlog to play. I would get it day one as well. But I definitely want to get it eventually.
I have a huge backlog. I mean, I feel you. I agree with you.
But it's Mass Effect,
I'm just
right?
an irresponsible person.
It's like me and like getting Persona 5 Royal, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And I also think it's something I'll probably stream with my other channel too, just because I figure like I've just learned about myself. I'm not sure how much I like streaming new games because I think there's just so much pressure to like get it right, and there's a learning curve involved. And so it's remastered, so there might be some changes, but overall it should be mostly familiar to me. So that might be a potential. But yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I just saw like their previews as far as like the CG graphics, obviously not in-game engine, but they're so good. They're so beautiful. We'll see. Excited. We all knew it was happening. It was the worst kept secret ever, but it's here.
The best thing? Hopefully, full controller support on PC without fucking using any mods, number one. Number two, getting all the DLCs in one package without using your stupid ass BioWare points. Well, last time. And also, it's kind of overpriced. It's just really annoying because I have Mass Effect 2 and 3 with all the DLCs, I think. And then I'm like, am I just gonna pay $60 again just to play with full control support? It's just I feel kind of dumb, but I kind of want to do it as well.
You know, I don't really rebuy games like ever. Like, I'm not one of those people who's bought games multiple times or anything like that. So for me personally, I figured this can be my guilty pleasure because. Like, when you ask me what are your favorite games, Sarah, I go Phoenix Wright and Mass Effect. So it's hard not to just be like, yep.
Yeah, I bought Phoenix Wright I think a few times now already. The same trilogy.
I know. To be fair to me, I actually resisted on the 3DS, but I did buy it again on the Switch, but that's because I still have the first 2 game cartridges are missing.
Yeah.
I lent them to a friend and she never gave it back to me. She could never find them. And you know how hard it is to find those cartridges. So I was like, screw it. So I finally bit the bullet and bought it for the Switch.
Yeah. Another game that got released, I think it's out now, like properly out, is Godfall, which is just kind of interesting. I mean, I don't think the game is interesting. The game looks kind of bland. But basically the game looks like, shiny Unreal Engine graphics. Shiny as in like really shiny, like shiny surfaces. Action RPG, a lot of loot, and melee combat, blah, blah, blah. Reviews have been like middling between like 5s and like 7s.
5 seems low.
Couple of the annoying things are Godfall for the PlayStation 4 and PC and PlayStation 4, I think. I know PC. I'm not sure if they came out with a PlayStation 4 version. PC is $60. PS5 is $70. It's the same damn game, man. Coming out at the same time, by the way.
Yeah.
And assuming a PlayStation 5 is just a really powerful PC, isn't that the same version as the one on the PC? Why am I paying $70 for the... Why am I paying $10 extra for the PlayStation 5 version? They're just pricing shit randomly now. What the And the worst part is it's $70 but 70 pounds. And according to some users, it's 80 euros. I'm not sure if they know this, but euros and pounds have a higher value than US dollars.
Yeah, they do.
It shouldn't be more expensive.
I know pounds do at least. I wasn't sure about euros, but yeah.
That's insane. Yeah, euros is roughly around 15% more.
Okay, yeah.
Some roughly, and I think pounds is something like 20% more than the US dollars. I'm just going like really rough figures in my head.
Yeah.
But that, what the fuck? And it's not even like a big. There's not a big. It's AAA price, but I'm not sure if it's a AAA game in terms of quality and content.
Yep.
And Godfall is just kind of weird to me because I see a lot of like ads and stuff for it. Wherever I go to like certain websites and stuff, it's in my face.
Yeah.
But there's not much fanfare for the release, and not many websites are reviewing it. So I'm not sure. The marketing seems a bit weird. There seems to be marketing, but at the same time, there doesn't seem to be any hype. I'm not really. It's just kind of weird. Maybe they didn't use their marketing dollars right or something. I don't know.
Maybe. I didn't think it was. You just threw enough money at it, just worked. Isn't that how marketing works? Just throw money at the machine and just put your game everywhere, and they're like, oh yeah, people buy it. That's how
That's the thing. I don't even think it's a big studio making it. It could be like a new studio that got a lot of investments to make a giant game out of it. But it's the first I've heard of this Counterplay Games, which is the devs. I'm not even sure what else they made. Their website only mentions Godfall. So yeah, I have nothing else. Sarah, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'll just briefly talk about the thing. So I have the article up. So from this article says it's a League of Legends champion. So please forgive me. I don't know League of Legends that well. But a champion called Seraphine has come out. I guess she's kind of she looks very anime plain person to me, but she's got pink hair, has a cat, and wide rim glasses like mine. And recently there was a woman named Stephanie who has made a blog post who has actually gotten a lawyer because she's going to see if she can sue for Riot using her likeness for a character. Now on the surface it sounds ridiculous, and when you see the pictures it is an uncanny resemblance. She had dyed her hair pink, bubblegum pink, very similar glasses, and cat. She's very with her cat. And so on the surface you're like, okay, that's creepy, but and even like the names Seraphine and Stephanie, it's kind of weird. But her reason for feeling that this actually happened, I could see why she thinks this way. She wrote an article on this one's called, it's on Medium, I think.
Yeah,
you probably
Medium.
can find it anywhere. But I'll just summarize basically the main points. She did used to date a Riot employee for a couple months. Nothing big. And that on the surface, again, that seems weird, but it actually does get creepy. This Riot employee, I feel, was a little too into her. She was very kind about him, being like, yeah, we kind of ended up breaking up, just of reasons. He wanted to go faster than I wanted to go into. And yeah, I can see why she said that, because like keep in mind they were dating 2 to 3 months this whole time.
Not long.
He got her to tour the Riot Studios. He managed to get her in for a tour. He kept joking how he was gonna base a new skin off of her, and kept making her believe that like, I have authority to be able to do this. And she was just like, LOL, no. And I guess like there was even a skin for someone that he was like gonna present to the team that was very much based off of her, and she felt that was kind of creepy. There was a paper she did that I guess was about the two worlds in League of Legends. I don't really know the context. And apparently, like, she had sent it to him being like, hey, I wrote this paper for school, isn't this kind of funny? And I guess he had, like, sent this paper around his colleagues at Riot to read, and, like, it was, like, in his office or something. And then one time when she visited, he managed to convince some artists to basically make a personalized picture of her. What did they base it off of? Based off some character, but she looks like a cat lady. But he got like an artist to like literally draw her likeness for a picture. And so through all of that, they had broken up, and so now she sees this, and she even admits, she's like, I don't know if my ex actually still works there. But this is a little too creepy. She feels like the story is a little creepy. Like there are similarities like in the story. She's an artist, and so is the character in the story. It is also an artist. There's like public pictures of her like at the beach with her cat that are very similar to some of the promo pictures. So that's really creepy. Like there's a picture like obviously in her bathing suit in the sand. And it's just. Ugh. And so, what was the other thing that was really creepy? I'm trying to think. Something about like her backstory. Yeah, like she's apparently from both the worlds or something, which was kind of a weird thing. And yeah, and I guess she felt like the pictures she would have sent to her ex, just pictures or whatever, would have lined up with when he could have possibly sent them over and stuff like that. And so it's just creepy to her. And so, again, she admits on her blog that, like, listen, I understand if you guys think I'm crazy, but I am going to go through the lawyer and see if I have anything to do with this because it's creeping me out. So,
the only thing would be, this is going to be very hard to prove and sounds very expensive.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I don't know her job, to be honest with you.
She might know a lawyer friend or something.
She might, yeah. She felt pretty confident that she could at least, like, attempt... What does she do? She mentioned, because she just recently graduated. I don't remember what she does. I feel like she does something with software, though, so I think she does have some cash. But anyway, I don't know. But, like, yeah, I don't know if this is actually going to go through, to be honest with you. But it is interesting. I actually had an acquaintance of mine who has a theory that he thinks what may have happened was the guy probably does no longer work there, but obviously he knew a lot of his colleagues and obviously got, like, an artist to do something, for her, and so... He's wondering if maybe, yeah, he did have some of these ideas and he left the company, but, like, they kind of got taken by other artists and then used an inspiration. So it's weird. So I don't know. It is, I can acknowledge why she'd feel creeped out. But I agree with you. I'm not confident it's going to go anywhere, but who knows? We'll see. I think it just will depend on how hard-fisted Riot it's going to be on this. Like, are they really going to put their foot down, or are they just going to be like, all right, we'll stop it, or something? I don't know. So, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I just know she's probably getting crapped on by League of Legends players, unfortunately.
The most understanding player base.
Yep, definitely. And she even acknowledged, she's like, I know this is going to not go over well with the fan base, because she is a League player. That's kind of how she matched with this guy. She does enjoy League. But she's like, I just feel like I have to do this, so we're going to see what happens. So we'll see. Anyway, that's my own news thing.
So, her Twitter is still up, I guess, so I guess she might not be getting as much flack as we think.
Maybe. That'd be good.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
So yeah. I don't have anything else. I think PlayStation 5 is out. Yay, I suppose.
Yeah. Yay. The smoking Xbox whatever is not real. Don't put vape smoke on your Xbox.
Don't put smoke into your electronics.
Yeah.
Do we really need to tell people that?
Yeah. Poor Xbox is like, I don't know, because they sent a thing where like, oh, it's smoking, and then it turns out it's just vape smoke. Like, I can't believe we have to say this, but do not put vape smoke into your electronics.
Yep.
People are stupid.
Do the thing?
I guess do the thing.
Do the thing.
I'll go first. This is Sarahscopic, Sarahscopic. I'm on Twitter. You can say hi to me. I'll say hi back. Mostly you'll probably catch me on RNG and T. We're going to do a podcast actually next week, so next Friday. So you guys can catch us on Twitch when we record that. Hit me up and say hi.
And I'm Foehamner. I'm pretty much just on YouTube. I do technically have a Discord, but you have to find a link to it on an old enough episode, because they don't put it on all the episodes, so it's a bit of a standard.
And I'm Pupunoob, Pupunoob, you know where. This has been another episode of Play On Ultra podcast. Thank you for watching and listening. See you next time. Bye-bye.